What's up, everybody? Miami defeats UAB 31-14 to open up the 2020 season. I got my co-host with me, Brad, on with me right now. Brad, man, you were at the game live. What are your thoughts, man? First off the bat, I know there's a lot of things to talk about.
Paul, what's going on tonight, man? Yeah. First off, there wasn't too many people there, but like I tweeted earlier, man, it was great to be in that stadium for this football season. We've all waited for it. Um, like most of us, the expectations that we had for the football team, I think obviously we all wanted to see a little bit more points. But yeah, we'll dig pretty deep into this. I think first off the bat, I thought De'Aaron King was exactly what we thought De'Aaron King would be. Seeing him live in person, there were so many plays where the pocket broke down and he made a lot with his feet. I thought he made a lot of good decisions. Unfortunately, I think our offense was a little vanilla. I think the play calling I could honestly say we probably only ran 4 or 5 plays the whole game. Um, I think maybe De'Aaron King kind of just went straight to the first option on most plays.
Yes.
Where if you would have looked in the second option or even at the tight ends or the receivers on that second level, I think we could have made some bigger plays. But for the most part, we played conservative, and we still averaged more points than what we did last year, and we got a W.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Look, the shining light of tonight's game was our running offense. You know, Cam Harris, hell of a job. 17 carries, 134 yards, 2 TDs. Jalen Knight and Don Chaney, I mean, those are future stars at the University of Miami. Both had roughly 50 carries. Both had 9 or 8 carries. Jalen Knight had 59 rushing yards. De'Aaron King running the football. Very good job. 12 carries, 83 yards, 1 TD. Total, we had over 332 rushing yards. I think running the football, we did a tremendous job. But I'll be honest with you, our play call was very vanilla. And the routes our wide receivers ran the whole game got awful. I wanted to see more screens, more slants, more comeback routes, more drags. Let's get the offense a little bit more fluid. I understand you don't want to show a lot week 1 before Louisville, but man, throwing the ball down the field, that's not going to cut it, man. We need to be more fluid offensively.
You're right, Paul. It's not going to cut it, but we all got to remember they've only been playing football for 3 weeks a month. This is the first game back. This is the first game back. And yeah, you just mentioned a key stat. We had over 350 rushing yards. That's way more than what we averaged last year.
Right.
And what I just said earlier about running only 4 to 5 plays, we were running the ball pretty much most of the game, where I think most of the fans the expectations were a little too high. Like myself, I thought we were going to be slinging the ball left and right.
Me too.
I thought I was going to see like an Oregon type offense. I really did like the fast pace. You saw very early in the game that we were running nonstop. I did see a key in our football team, especially in the first half. Very few turnovers. I thought we were a sound football team on that end. But like we talked about in a previous show, they gave up one quick touchdown early in the game, which I thought, me personally, I don't think Mark Pope needs to be at returner. Watching him live at the stadium, he just didn't look ready. He didn't look like he wanted that ball. Anytime that ball went in the air, I was holding my breath. I think I'm better. Me personally, I think you're better off putting Gervin Hall back there and fair catching it every time.
Yes. No. When Mark Pope fumbled that first punt return, I mean, that just kind of reminded me of JT4 first game of the year. And I was like, hey, I hope Manny realizes this is kind of what's that? Kind of deja vu. What's going on here?
Jeff Thomas, Florida game all over again, man.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, hey, make the adjustment. This is your second year. They put in Gervin Hall, then they go back to Mark Pope. They believe in Mark Pope, but man, he almost turned that punt return, the second one, into a safety. I hope it's early game jitters. I really do. The special teams at Miami has been the identity of this football program. It has not been the identity this past decade. I'm sorry, man. Travis Benjamin was probably our best punt returner I can think of off the top of my head. Where has it gone since Packy has taken over special teams?
Yeah, absolutely. And you talk about identity, and the past 3 or 4 years, our identity of the football team has been the defense. And if you look at it, for the most part, our defense actually played pretty well. You talk about a running back in Spencer Brown, who was the leading rusher in the conference last year, or actually the past 2 years. We held him to under 100 yards. He had a couple big games, but for the most part, we did our job. I thought Bradley Jennings played pretty well for his first game back in a Hurricane uniform. I was a little disappointed in the play calling on defense as far as the scheme and not bringing that many blitzes. We talked about it in the previous show, and a quarterback like Tyler Johnson at UAB, you could tell when he was under pressure, he made a lot of bad decisions. And, man, I got to say, kudos to the offensive coordinator for UAB. His play calling was honestly excellent. He put Tyler Johnson in great positions where he got the ball out very quick to where our pass rush couldn't really get much on him. And it seemed like every time we were going to get a sack, he threw the ball right in time.
Well, I will say this about Tyler Johnston and Lucenio, their two quarterbacks. They missed a lot of passes, okay, and their receivers dropped a lot of balls as well.
They did, but look at the stats though. He threw 64%, and De'Aaron King threw 65%. So if you look about it, I mean, you're talking apples and oranges.
I get what you're saying. But I just feel like a good quarterback like Sam Howell, Trevor Lawrence, they complete a lot of passes that were not completed with Johnston and Lucenio. Remember that down the field pass where the receiver blew by Blades that he just threw like a freaking, I don't even know what it was. He like underthrew the receiver or just, I don't know. I mean, it was like a 15-yard pass and the guy was like 30 yards away. Do you remember that play?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But my thing was, I never had those high expectations for a guy like Tyler Johnson. I personally didn't think of him as a Sam Howell or any of these other guys. I thought he played up to his potential, if not better. Okay. I thought he did pretty well. He did miss a couple throws, and a couple guys did drop some passes. But I mean, you go to the stat board. I mean, his stats were pretty similar to De'Aaron King without the rushing yards.
Yeah, no, I do agree. And I mean, De'Aaron King, passing we'll get into the offense, there's plenty to talk about. But yeah, no, I do get your point, Brad. Very similar offensive play overall with both quarterbacks passing the football. Brad, what's going on with our secondary? I feel like DJ Ivey does not turn his head to the football. He plays eyes to hands. It's getting very frustrated. Al Blades is our best cornerback. We all agree. But who after Al Blades is going to step up? Okay, because we need someone to step up.
Yeah. Unfortunately, our best secondary corner after him needs to play the slot, and that's the Corey Couch. You saw Christian Williams get abused a couple times, and then you just mentioned DJ Ivey. I mean, there was fans giving me crap last year for me not being on the DJ Ivey train and me saying he needs to live up to his potential, and then everybody kept saying this is the year, watch out. Well, the only thing he was not watching was the football.
Right.
He should have turned his head around multiple times, and you saw in that same play or that same drive when DJ Ivey got kind of burnt. The next two plays after that, they tried to do the same thing to Blades, and Blades turned around and almost had an interception, which is what you're supposed to do.
Yes.
So, yeah. And, I mean, you go to the defense. We were talking about it last show. I thought I was going to see the turnover chain a few times. We had no turnovers. There was plenty of times where our linebackers or a corner should have had an interception.
Yeah.
I think Keyshawn Smith dropped a clear interception in his hands. Yeah, man. We'll see. I was pretty okay with the offensive line. It definitely needs work, but at the same time, we didn't give up a sack until N'Kosi Perry came in.
Yeah, but we also got bailed out by De'Aaron King. I mean, he pulled some Johnny Manziel moves out in the backfield, man. That one play where he just went off for like 20 yards on like third down, I think it was.
Yeah. I mean, he did have one. They did sack King once. Now I'm remembering.
Right. Yeah, they did sack him once.
But yes, I mean, what he did with his legs was ridiculous. There was a few times where I don't know how he got out of it. I mean, he's so small. When the pocket collapses, he kind of disappears. So all you really see is just a small guy just shoot out of a cannon almost.
And we didn't see a lot of Christian Williams today, Brad.
I mean, unfortunately, the only times you did see Christian Williams, they threw the ball right at him, and the receiver got the ball. I mean, and you know what's crazy, man? Watching UAB's offense, if I was them, I would have kept throwing Ivey's way every time.
Right. No, I completely agree. Brad, defensive line, I thought this was Nesta's better games as a Miami Hurricane. I think he looked very well conditioned and ready to play today. What are your thoughts about our defensive line? That was the one silver lining I thought I saw, because I know defensive tackle has been a big question, but I really liked Nesta Silvera's involvement in the game.
Yeah, our D line played pretty well for the most part. I think what you saw, especially with most of the defense, after like 5 minutes into the third quarter, we had a lot of new bodies in. It seemed like we were rotating a lot of guys. After the first half, you had Phillips and Roche only in for a few more series, and then after that, they were pretty much out the rest of the game. But Nesta Silvera, yeah, he definitely looked a lot better. Being kind of right by the sideline, man, he was bringing that energy. That's one thing I really liked about seeing him this football game. He seemed a lot more intact with the football team. He seemed like he wanted to be there. But yeah, honestly, me personally, the biggest thing I saw out of that football game was we got an offensive coordinator that has some fire under.
Okay.
I mean, you got Rhett Lashley, I kid you not, Paul, the whole entire game from the beginning to the end, Rhett Lashley was in the ear of every coach, every player. Doesn't matter if they were playing good or bad. He was yelling every single series. Like you could hear him. I mean, there wasn't that many fans at the game, but you can hear him throughout the whole stadium.
And by the way, Brad, not to interrupt you, 11 minutes in, 106 people. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. 114. I love it, guys. I love your passion. Game 1 underway of the 2020 season. We're fired up. All the anticipation came out tonight. Brad, I don't want to go too much away from the defense, but I just want to make one comment on today's game plan offensively, because I think it's important. Where the hell were our tight ends? They were not at all actively used in tonight's game plan. Brevin Jordan had 3 receptions and averaged 17 yards each reception for a TD. Okay.
Yeah.
Will Mallory wasn't even targeted. What's going on?
I was just about to say that. Yeah, Will Mallory wasn't even targeted, and Brevin Jordan only got targeted 2 or 3 times, like you mentioned. It didn't seem like we were getting our tight ends involved much, but we did have, I think, 7 or 8 receivers at least catch a ball. Unfortunately, we just didn't have many big plays. So I mean, our leading receiver probably only had like 30 or 40 yards, and I think it was our running back actually. I think Cam Harris was
Cam Harris, and then D Wiggins was number 2.
Yeah, I mean, so again, it goes back to the play calling. We didn't do much play calling. We ran the ball really heavy.
Yeah, no, it was a run heavy offense, and it was very efficient, Brad. Whenever you run the football for over 332 yards, you're doing something right. Look, if we can take away positives, Brad has left us. If we can take away positives, guys, the running game today was very successful. I think we have a future star in Cam Harris. His junior campaign is going to be very interesting, how he stacks up in ACC play. De'Ara King, man, phenomenal job running the football. We got Brad back on.
My bad.
No, you're good, Brad. What I was going to say is, man, outstanding job running the football. I mean, Cam Harris's junior campaign is underway, man, and I'm ecstatic. I mean, this kid can put up crazy numbers this season.
He definitely can, but unfortunately, we saw that one play where we all kind of held our breath when he went down. I think we are pretty run heavy, but I think going into next week against Louisville, we have to open the playbook up. With a team like Louisville, they are going to throw the ball a lot more, and their offense is a lot more explosion than UAB. So I think we have to open up the playbook. But at the same time, we covered the spread. I know the first half, a lot of Cane fans were pretty worried. At that first half, everybody was kind of looking at each other like, whoa, do we still have Dan Enos here? Like, what's going on?
Yes.
But we kind of opened it up in the second half. Me and Co and a few others, we were pretty impressed with them at least opening up third quarter and actually going a couple touchdowns and actually and we actually had Ed Reed like 10 rows in front of us.
Nice.
That was pretty funny.
One thing I would say, Brad, is, I did appreciate the fact we were going no huddle. We would look to the sideline, see what the defense gave us, call an audible. We were playing fast, up tempo. But if you're gonna play fast, go up tempo, you need to convert on third downs. If not, there's no point.
Yeah, unfortunately, man, our third it felt like old Miami, man. Every time we were in third down, it was third down and long. It was like 3rd and 8 or more. Where I think Lashley Well, what didn't help us is that our first down, we would try to throw the ball deep, and it would end up being an incomplete pass. And our second and third down, we would run the ball. We relied really heavy on that RPO. It seemed like the RPO was pretty much our main play.
But it was there. There were a lot of times. I mean, King could have tucked the ball and take off, man. There were plenty of times.
There's 5 or 6 times where if King would have kept the ball, we would have had at least 14 more points on the board.
Yes, easily. I mean, 6.
That's a good thing too. Like
Easily.
7 times.
Question you got, Brad. Why do you think the referees did not call a false start or a illegal formation penalty on the tight end for UAB instead of calling offsides on us in the third quarter tonight? I was wondering about that as well.
Apparently he can shift.
Because he
okay.
The receiver on the outside came forward.
Yeah, but I mean, when we were watching it on the jumbotron, it definitely looked like he went off first.
Gotcha.
But for the most part, man, it seemed like the penalties weren't against us this time. We played a pretty sound football game for the most part. I know in the second half we had like 2 or 3 penalties back to back that kind of hurt us. But the first penalty in the first half was a bozo play on the defense that was after the play. But yeah, man, I think for 3 weeks of preparation, we literally, you could tell Rhett Lashley didn't want to open up the playbook. So, but yeah.
No. Hey, listen, man, I'm happy because we're seeing a new offense. Okay, you can see positive signs. It's a new playbook we're dealing with. We're playing fast. Our running game is opening up. I mean, when was the last time we had 332 yards of running the football? Our passing game is rusty. Okay, we didn't have spring practice. This was literally the first official game we're playing. I'm not worried. I think as the season goes on, we will progress. I just wish we would run different routes because I just felt like we threw down the field too much when we should have just ran more drag routes, more slant routes, more comeback routes, get Brevin Jordan involved more. That's the only thing I'm a little bit mad at, but that's normal. That's normal the first game.
Yeah, I think the key is going to be is looking at the film after this game and being able to game plan and change things. And I think prior we didn't have an offensive coordinator that didn't do that at all. And Rhett Lashley, I can definitely say is definitely going to go in the film room, and he's going to do what needs to be done against Louisville to score more points. Because if we don't score more points come against Louisville, we will lose that game. But I think Rhett Lashley will get the team ready.
No, absolutely, man. I mean, Louisville, that's a very good team. You know, offensively, they gave us the most trouble the past season against our defense. You know, I really think we better be ready to go. It might even be a barn burner, 1st to 45, Big 12 football style. I hope not. You know, but our secondary better be ready to go, specifically cornerbacks, because, you know, that's going to be a very good offense we're facing. Tutu Atwell is one of the best receivers, if not in the ACC in college football. So we better be ready to go.
Yeah, man. The 4-2-5 scheme that we were running for most of the game isn't typically what Manny likes to run. So I think that was part of the problem as well. I think Baker definitely should have put a lot more blitzes, especially on the outside. That was actually our problem on both ends, on defense and on offense. There was multiple times, especially in the first half, where Cam Harris was pretty much the dominant running back. But I felt like if we would have had Knighton in on some of those plays, Knighton would have took it to the outside, and we had so much daylight.
Yes. No, listen, I'm very happy with what I saw about Knighton today. He's a very electric running back. Look, man, I really think that Chaney and Knighton and Cam Harris in this offense can carry us a far way, Brad. I really do. Plus King's running ability. Imagine if the passing game starts clicking. We almost had 500 total yards in offense, or maybe we did. I'm trying to do the numbers off the top of my head. And our passing game wasn't even on point today, Brad. Did I lose Brad? I think I lost Brad. Let me get him back on the screen. But hear that out, guys. We had over 332 rushing yards, 160 passing yards, and our passing offense wasn't on point. What if it was on point and we had 300 passing yards? We would have had over 600 total yards in offense. We had so many missed opportunities. We had Jeremiah Payton wide open in the end zone. Wide open. That's another 20 yards. We had Mike Harley wide open down the field. D'Eriq King overthrew Mike Harley. Look at the missed opportunities at hand. We could have put up a show. We could have put on a show. It's all good. Let's learn from this. Let's rebound. We have Louisville next week. The offense has just gotten better, guys, overnight with Rhett Lashley. I am fine. Now, cornerbacks, that worries me. Okay, you put in a Sam Howell tonight, we have trouble. Okay, let's fix this. A lot of guys like Couch, Christian Williams, they had a lot of... Oh, Brad, you're back? Brad. Brad? So Brad, charging his phone, I guess. But man, seriously, guys, I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all regarding tonight's performance. I would have loved to just incorporate the tight ends more. You know, we have the best tight end duo. Everyone says it, but we don't incorporate them in our offense. 4 targets today. 3 receptions from Brevin Jordan. Okay, he had, I think, over 57 yards receiving, averaged 17 yards a reception. You know, so just things like that. You know, vanilla play call, it's all good. We will get better. Okay, guys, we will get better. Am I taking calls tonight? Why not, guys? First game of the year. Let's open up the phone lines. Call in. Let's talk some Canes football. Let me get the number up real quick, and we'll be good to go. All right, and we will have Brad back on the show momentarily. We'll be good to go, guys. Let's get in the call. He is back.
Sorry about that, Paul.
No, you're good, man. Ryan said your phone was dead walking out of the stadium. It's all good, man.
Yeah, man, my phone doesn't have too much juice left.
No, it's all good, man.
So yeah, man. What are your thoughts? Are you okay with the score? I know a lot of Cane fans are probably a little bit upset as far as not at least hitting that 38-39 mark. But me personally, just looking at the play calling that we did, how vanilla it was, and still being able to put 30 plus points, something that we only did 3 times last season. I thought that was definitely an improvement. It's not what we wanted to see, but we got to remember it's first game.
Yeah, I mean, my prediction was 33-17, you know?
Oh, wow, you were really close.
Yeah, I was close, you know? So it's kind of funny how, like, I predicted a fairly similar score, yet, you know, I'm critiquing myself. The play call is vanilla, a little bit disappointed. The way I view it, Brad, is our passing game was very rusty, and the play call was vanilla. So imagine if it actually did connect today, and we did open up the playbook. With the amount of rushing yards we had, plus 250 passing yards, bro, that's close to 600.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And it seemed like we were trying to set up pass, but we just never went with the deep pass. Like, there were so many opportunities, like you mentioned, where we just kept running, where there were plenty of times where we could have went up top and we just didn't do it.
Absolutely. And we missed a lot of easy opportunities to score. Jeremiah Payne in the end zone, wide open. Mike Harley down the field.
I was a little disappointed in our red zone. I'm not going to lie. If it wasn't for D'Eriq King, I don't even know how our red zone offense would have even looked, because he kind of created most of the opportunities. I felt like the personnel at times was still a little bit questionable, especially like when you were inside the 7-yard line and you got a guy like Mike Harley out there instead of Will Mallory. I don't understand that. I mean, if you're going to run the ball, it's better to have Will Mallory blocking than Mike Harley. And if you're going to throw the ball, Will Mallory is a bigger target. So it's a win-win when he's out on the field besides Mike Harley in that situation.
Absolutely. But yeah. Go ahead, Brad.
No, I was saying for the offense, for the most part, I think we'll be okay. I think we do need to make a lot of changes, but we executed when we needed to. And unfortunately, we just didn't put the gas on the pedal like we all thought Rhett Lashley would. But I think Rhett Lashley's a lot smarter than some of us will give him credit for. I think he's not trying to show that much. And the good thing is we got a lot of, there's a lot of players that played tonight that will most likely not play against Louisville. And there's also some players that didn't play tonight that I expect to play against Louisville, like Xavier Restrepo. Xavier Restrepo, I think, got him for 1 or 2 plays. Right. And it was a running play.
No, yeah, I expected more of him tonight, and we didn't see that. And we saw a lot of him during spring. We also saw a little bit of Jeremiah Payton.
Yeah, it
Not a
wasn't
lot.
much.
It wasn't much. It was more of the veteran players: Mark Pope, D. Wiggins, Mike Harley, Brevin Jordan, kind of the veteran guys. You think Manny did that purposely? Well, Marshall Few as well.
Yeah, I mean, the tough thing is obviously no media members or no people can really see what goes on in practice every day. But who knows what's going on behind the scenes? Maybe a guy like Marshall Few is putting in the work, things that we don't know. I mean, I do know that he is the hardest worker on the football team.
There you go.
He,
Love
he
that.
he is training to be in the Marines, if I'm not mistaken. So he actually
Love it.
wakes up. He wakes up at like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning.
God bless him.
Does his own workout before even football workouts happen. So I know the
Jeez.
guy's a machine. But yeah, I definitely wish Xavier Strippo could have got a little bit more opportunities.
Hell yeah.
But the defense played pretty good. I was very impressed. I thought Spencer Brown was going to cut loose on a few more. I thought our tackling was actually not that bad.
Yes, exactly.
It's just the holes were wide open when they did decide to run. I mean, going back again to UAB's offensive coordinator, he did a great job at play calling. When the halfback draws needed to be called, he called them at the right times. When they needed the quick dump off passes or the screens, he called them at the right times. It was a very good, well coached game by UAB. I think they're probably leaving the stadium tonight. Obviously, they're disappointed with the loss, but they played a pretty good game for the type of talent they have compared to us.
Open field tackling was great by Miami. I don't know if you noticed, but our safeties really wrapped up well. I thought they played very well, specifically Bubba Bolden and Gervin Hall. Like you said, man, linebacker play, I was fine with it. I wanted to see more Sam Brooks and Avery Huff. Didn't see that. We saw Ryan Rigoni. Was he playing striker, Brad?
Yes, he was.
We rotated 3 guys at striker tonight. I know Keyshawn Smith did have one missed assignment. I think the game was kind of going a little bit too fast for him. Gilbert Frierson got injured as well.
Yes, he did. At the end of the game, he was trying to run it off on the sideline where we were, but you could tell he was kind of limping pretty bad. He was fine when he would run in a straight line, but as soon as he tried to turn, when the trainer told him to turn and try and make a cut, he was grimacing pretty bad. But I think he'll be okay. I did also see that Cam Ayers had some ice on his knee, but I think he should be okay as well. And I think the only other guy that I think got banged up, but he was good after, was Harrison Hunt, if I'm not mistaken. He actually played pretty well. I was very impressed with him. That was one kid that I actually had some good expectations for before the game started, and I was very impressed with him.
By the way, Brad, we got 177 people on with us live right now, less than 30 minutes in. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, man. We're heating up this offseason, man. We got live interviews. We're doing live shows. I just had Lance Leggett. I've had Ethnic Sands. We've done Jaden Hood, Michael McLaughlin, Jamal Jackson, you name it. Hey, we're not playing this season. We got Brad coming on. We got Derek Coe. We had the roundtable with Cam Underwood. So, guys, hit subscribe. Don't miss out on our YouTube channel because it's only going to get better.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's only going to get better.
There's not too many people in the game that's going to have the hustle and grind that me and you are going to have. I promise you that. Anytime news drops, we will definitely be on top of it, giving Kane fans anything that they need.
Love it. Hit subscribe, hit the like button, and we're not going anywhere. And we're straight to business. All right. So, hey, thank you everyone for taking time out of your night to listen to us. And Brad, I want to ask you a question. Are you a fan of rushing 3 and then dropping back everyone else? Because I don't really like that. I mean, we have a very good defensive line. You know, it happens on third down conversions a lot.
No.
And you know,
I like I mentioned earlier, we should have brought the blitz a lot more.
Right. Yes, exactly. I think we do blitz our striker.
Yeah, we do. Our striker was actually in great positions for most of the game, and they actually came up with the tackle for most of the time. My problem is there will be times where that striker does miss the tackle, and if that would have happened, that would have been easy points for UAB. There was plenty of opportunities where UAB was literally just one missed tackle away from taking it the distance because they were already on the second level. As soon as they had runs, the first level didn't even get touched. They went right by them. So that second level was a huge factor for us. And thankfully, they came up big. And I think that is why you didn't see guys like Sam Brooks and Avery Huff in there that much, because Jennings and McLeod actually played a very good role, especially being vets and taking care of those tackles.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I honestly was really satisfied. I really did appreciate Jalen Phillips' performance in the first half. I felt like our defensive ends unit in the second half didn't have such a great performance.
No, and that's only because we didn't have the first string in. It was second string guys, so this is their first time getting reps. And you got to think they were going against the first team UAB offensive line still. This is when UAB is still trying to make a comeback and get some more points on the board. So our second team was really going against the first team UAB, and they still got pressured. There were still plenty of times where Cam Williams, was very close from getting a couple sacks.
Yes.
Jafari Harvey looked like a beast. He was coming off the line very quick. I was very impressed with the D-line. The interior, the defensive line, I thought could have been a little bit better at times. But overall, the whole defense looked very good, in my opinion, for the most part, except the corners. DJ Ivey and Christian Williams in particular. I think those two guys, I think our biggest problem is who will be cornerback 2. I don't see Corey Couch fit in that role because I think he is perfect for the nickel. But we need to find out who quarterback two is, and we need to do it fast, because as soon as we play a high-tempo offense who could sling it from either side like Louisville, they're going to exploit that.
No, absolutely. And another thing too, Brett, I just thought about this right now. It was 8,000 people in the fans in attendance. This Miami, in a sense, was the guinea pig of Power 5 to see how teams perform against other opponents week 1 without having a spring practice.
Yep. And I think that's what Cane fans need to keep remembering. Here's the thing. Unfortunately, with Miami Hurricane fans and myself, we think one thing until a lot of other people start saying something different, and then we kind of believe it, right? When us Miami Hurricane fans talk right now tonight, we're pretty okay for how tonight happened. But unfortunately, like you just mentioned, it was a Thursday night football game. It was the first Power 5 game pretty much. So all eyes were on the University of Miami, unless you're an NFL fan. All eyes were on the Miami Hurricanes football team tonight. So every network, ESPN, ESPN2, ACC Network, Gator fans, Florida State fans, everybody is going to talk crap, and they're going to say their opinions and how Miami's still not back. But we got to look at it from our point of view and not everybody else's, and it is an improvement. It's not the biggest improvement. It's not the improvement we wanted right away, obviously, but it is an improvement, and it is one game. We got the W. We won by more than 14 points. We should have beat them by more. But if you're a Miami Hurricane fan and you watched the football game today, we all know they only ran 4 or 5 plays.
Exactly. And I'm curious to see how Clemson plays against Wake Forest. UNC has Syracuse, Adino Babers offense. I mean, look out for that. Okay, that could cause a lot of havoc moving forward. Who does Florida State even play? I don't care really, but
Georgia Tech.
Hey, watch out, Jeff Collins, up and coming coach. So look, man.
Yeah. Georgia Tech could definitely upset Florida State. I could see that happening. And if Florida State loses week 1, that locker room is going to shambles real quick.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Week three is going to be a blowout. I wouldn't even worry about it. De'Aaron King by himself will beat Florida State.
Anything, Brad, that we did not talk about that you want to address? Maybe offensive line. I thought Jared Williams played a good game. I don't think Jared Williams was the issue. Was Ousmane Traore, did he come up short on that screen pass to Cam Harris first?
No, that was actually I was just about to say that was actually Jared Williams. Jared Williams missed that. Jared Williams missed that that as well. It was on a screen pass and he missed the block.
Yeah, that was ugly.
That was Jared Williams. Yep.
We need better protection.
No, but for the most part, I thought we played pretty smooth. Compared to last year, there was I mean, obviously Zion Nelson and a couple other guys were like, it's just like every other play they were doing something wrong or somebody was getting beat, where we didn't really see that much. Like we mentioned earlier, we only gave up one sack with De'Aaron King, and then we gave up one sack when Kosi was in at the end of the game. But I thought for the most part they did do well. But at the same time, we didn't pass the ball much. So how much opportunities did we really give them at the same time?
Right. No, absolutely. I completely agree. And someone makes a good point as well. Brad, we didn't have a lot of penalties.
Nope. Yep. I was saying that earlier. The penalties is one of the worst things for Miami Hurricanes football every single year, and it seems like we might have either got it fixed or the refs were just on our side. But I didn't see too many bad false starts or anything miscommunication. I thought what I really liked was at the beginning of the game, and you mentioned earlier the fast-paced offense we had. Everybody looked like they were on the same page. They knew exactly where to line up, what to do.
Yes.
We just didn't execute the explosion plays, and I thought that was a little interesting because that's one thing that Rhett Lashley harped on all offseason was we got to be able to make the explosion plays, and we didn't do that in the air, but we did do it on the ground, which was good.
Absolutely. And another thing from De'Aaron King, he showed his veteran presence. He didn't try to do too much. I think there was one throw that was a tight window to Brevin Jordan, but he wasn't pushing passes. He wasn't trying to make too much. He knew when to make the right decision and when to not make the wrong decision, you know?
What about when the pocket collapsed and he hit the circle button and rolled to his left and did the cross pass for the first down? I thought that was amazing.
How about
no other quarterback? No other quarterback in a Hurricane uniform in the past 10 years could have did that play.
Never done that. And my favorite was that one, and then diving into the end zone when we were in the red zone. Oh my God, that was beautiful.
I will say this though, Paul. There was a lot of times where we held our breath because he just needs to learn how to slide a little bit. I think him being so small, he drops his shoulder a little bit too much, and there was a couple times where I was like, oof. All it takes is one play. I mean, we saw it with Cam Harris.
I completely agree, man. That scared me. That really did. Because if Cam Harris goes down, I mean, that's not good.
Yep.
That's not good at all. I mean, you got two freshmen and a veteran Robert Burns who barely plays, coming into the game. So.
Yeah, I was surprised Robert Burns was actually in the game.
Yeah, right. I mean, at the same time, there's no redshirt eligibility this year. It's kind of like a free-for-all. So, hey, why not give him? He's a good kid, does a lot of community service, does the right things. Give him some love. Give N'Kosi Perry some love. Why not,
Yeah, and speaking of giving some guys some love, my boy Jakai Clark didn't really get in the game until right at the end. I got to give my boy a shout out. He actually helped me out and got me some tickets tonight.
Hey, shout out to Jakai Clark.
It was good to see him tonight. But yeah, it was a good game overall, man. It's not obviously what we all expected, but it was a W. We covered the spread. I know my guy John Michaels. I'm in a little group chat at the UR as well, and John Michaels, man, at halftime he was a little nervous. He's like, "Oh, this is the same old crap, same old Miami team. We're never gonna change." And then third quarter came out. We had 2 back-to-back touchdowns. He's like, all right, I feel a lot better. Maybe I jumped the gun a little bit. It's like we just gotta, unfortunately, with Miami Hurricane fans, Miami Heat fans, Miami Dolphin fans, anything Miami fans, we want the instant gratification is super high. We want something right away. And we just put so much expectations on these players, on these coaches. And we should, because we've waited very long to get to this point.
Exactly.
And we're still not there, but we are improving.
Listen, we got a Broyles Award finalist as our OC. Okay? We have a very good defensive coordinator as our head coach. We got one of the best dual threat mobile quarterbacks in the nation. I'm not worried. We just ran for 332 rushing yards. And aren't they returning everybody and their mom on defense? UAB. I mean, that wasn't a bad team.
No, they so actually 8 out of their 10 leading tacklers last season returned this year, and actually a couple guys that were supposed to stand out for UAB. I didn't really check their tackling stats, but a kid like Jordan Smith, school, a lot of people were looking to be a big guy for UAB. He transferred from Florida. He was kind of quiet tonight, I think, for the most part. So I thought we did pretty well.
No, yeah, I thought we did very good. I mean, look, imagine just getting 200 passing yards. I mean, that's 532 yards of total offense. I mean, like, if we put that up every game, how do we not win football games? You know, Brad? How do we not?
Yeah.
I mean, it's that simple. The offense overnight has changed at Miami. Okay, I'm thinking positive here. I know I'm worried that we didn't incorporate our tight ends. That needs to be addressed automatically. Brevin Jordan, Will Mallory, best tight ends in the nation.
So I would say this. I don't think we've changed our offense dramatically yet. From everything I saw tonight, I wouldn't say that, but I will say it is improving. But again, we haven't seen it. I want to see everything before I put that on our offense. I don't think we showed a lot of our tricks. Brett Lashley didn't really do much. You did see early in the third quarter where I guess maybe everybody in the locker room and him especially kind of went into the locker room and was like, dude, we're only up by 7 or 3 points to UAB, and we need to come out swinging in the third quarter. So I think you saw like back-to-back drives third quarter. We were starting to run a couple other plays, and we were getting yards right after the other. I know that first drive, we were moving the ball like it was nothing. And then as soon as we were up 14-17 and we were getting comfortable again, that's when he kind of slowed down on the gas pedal, and we went right back to the run.
Yep. No, absolutely. I wanted to see more Jalen Nyder. I thought he played very well. And, that first couple snaps he got, man, I thought he really did have a second gear on him that we haven't seen in Miami in a while. He's going to be very effective. And Don Chaney really did impress me. I mean, he's a solid running back. He's a big body to bring down. He doesn't look like a freshman.
Oh, man. Not at all. He is a big kid for his age. And actually, I was next to his dad for a little bit. His father is huge. I mean, picture Vince Wilfork with a couple more inches on him, and that's who his dad looks like. I mean, he is huge.
Wow. Hey, there you go, man. Local product. Belen Jesuit, Jalen Knight in Deerfield Beach Senior High School in Deerfield Beach, Florida. So,
Yep,
hey, we're getting that South Florida local
Speaking
talent.
of Deerfield, a kid I wanted to see more was X, man. I needed X on
Yeah.
the field. He looked like he was ready to get in, man. He was hyped on the sideline, ready to go. But, that was another thing I noticed during the football game. Everybody on the team, for the most part, they were really engaged the whole time. Even a guy like Nkosi Perry, he seemed very happy and hyped on the sideline for De'Aaron King and the offense. Everyone was engaged. It wasn't like years prior where you just saw like half the team kind of just like have their own conversations and just sit there and not really be engaged with the game, especially with not that many fans. You would think it would be like that, but everybody was engaged. The pregame especially, it seemed like everyone was hyped to finally get on the football field, and they actually almost got in a little scuffle with UAB at the beginning too. I thought that was actually pretty cool.
Love it. Let's get him fights pregame. Let's kick their ass on the field. I love it. But we need to start winning. We do it all the time, but we need to start winning. Brad, Keyshawn Smith, why didn't we see him on the field? Keyshawn Smith and Xavier Restrepo, two players I thought we would see on the field. They both did extremely well in the spring. What's going on there, you think, with Keyshawn Smith? You think it will come next game over time? Because we're going into conference play now. We cannot rely on freshman mistakes. We got to win.
I think since we are so heavy on the run, I think those two guys maybe just weren't that good in the run blocking scheme. So it was a little bit more of a liability in that point. I think once we open up the playbook, you're going to see those two even more. You actually saw more of the stronger build guys like Marshall Few and there was Michael Redding. Michael Redding actually got a lot of burn tonight.
Really? Michael Redding?
Yes, okay. Yes. Michael Redding was in for a good amount of the game.
Okay. Very good. Very cool. All right. We are 15 minutes in, Brad. Thank you, everyone. Over 200 people with us on live. Thank you so much. Brad, let's do a little rapid fire. Sounds good?
Let's do it.
All right, so drop your questions down below. I got Brad on with me, my co-host. We're going to try to make this a thing, go live after the shows if we can, because obviously work schedules do get in the way. But, man, we're going to be putting in this work this season and in the future, man. We're not going anywhere. Lance Leggett already wants to hop on. I got Levon Ponder as well. I mean, we're just going to get stronger. So I can't wait. Brad can't wait. Drop your questions below. Man, it's a great day to be a Miami Hurricane. We won. It's Louisville week. That's it. UAB's in the past. Move forward. Okay. Someone put, "Why does Blake Baker suck?" Are you a big critic of Blake Baker, or are you
Yeah,
satisfied with
I'm
him
not.
so far?
I'm not too impressed with Blake Baker for the most part. I think he's average. I think he's actually exactly what Manny wants, though. Someone he's very comfortable with and kind of just listens and follows directions.
He was cut off.
Problem is, I still and we could have actually converted a little bit more turnovers and sacks.
Yes, I know. I do agree. Christopher Stevens asks, "How good is Louisville?" I think they are very good offensively. They have some great playmakers. They're probably one of the fastest teams in the ACC. Defensively, they are not good. They are not a good football team on the defensive side of the football, but they will give you problems offensively. Brad, what do you think? Did we lose Brad?
I think
our
offense will have to open up a playbook in order to compete with Louisville.
100%.
You there?
You Goldwire asked, Paul, how do you feel about the team, honestly? I think it was pretty impressive to put up 332 rushing yards. I feel like we're playing a lot faster. We're going a lot more up-tempo. The Eric King will carry this football team with his leg. Our run game will open up this offense. Our pass game was rusty, and I want to see it against Louisville. Okay, maybe we can fix a little rust. Let's involve the tight ends a lot more in our playbook, in our game plan. Okay, then we will be successful. I want to see more slants, more drags, more comeback routes. Cornerback play is an issue. That needs to be fixed. It needs to be addressed. I don't know who's at fault for that. Someone needs to be reevaluated. Something. There needs to be a change at cornerback play.
Yes, absolutely agree with you on that. And we don't have depth there either, so that's another issue.
Oh man, it's building. It is building, but it will take over time. Oh yeah. Hey, Ryan Pittman, are we going to give Lou Headley some love? I thought he did an outstanding job punting the football tonight. I completely agree.
Yes, special teams, besides the punt return from Mark Pope's, special teams was phenomenal. Borgalis did his thing with the extra points and the field goal. And yeah, Lou Headley was punting the crap out of the ball every single time.
Brad, are you going to be at the FSU game? And if you are, man, let's meet up, take a pic for the U and the podcast. Love that. Anthony,
let's do it.
Are you going to go to the FSU game?
Yes, sir. I'll be there with Co.
Love that, man. Love it. Any away games you're going to? I'm trying to go to Wake Forest, NC State. Going to go to the North Carolina game at home in Miami. That is my plan. Any away games?
The only away game I will try to go to is Clemson if I can find a way to get a ticket.
Yeah, no, Clemson as well. Yeah, that is well, that's going to be an interesting one. I think they're going to be more lenient with people in the game, it seems like, going to games. No. Safeties, how did you think they played today, Brad, overall?
Safeties played great.
I agree.
I thought they covered the field excellent. Bubba Bolden and Gervin Hall both did pretty well. Their tackling, like we talked about earlier, was pretty good for the most part. There was a couple times where Bubba Bolden kind of just let in with his shoulder. I think if he would do that with a bigger back, like the Louisville back that we'll be seeing soon, who rushed for over 1,600 yards last year, that's a guy that you're going to want to wrap up. You don't want to just go straight shoulder or head first, because he will bounce off and keep going.
Brad, with all the miscues we had tonight, how many points do you think we score?
Like you're saying, if we didn't have the mistakes, how many points we would score? Is that what you mean? I think we could have easily put up 49 between the turnovers and everything.
Yeah, we had 31, right? 31-14. Payton touchdown, 38. Harley down the field wide open without the Pope fumble. Yeah, I think we're at 45. I think we're at 45, and I think it's 45-7. That's a good-looking score, but it was 31-14. We won. I'll take it. So we're moving forward. And I think we lost Brad again. 196 people on with us live, 15 minutes in. Thank you guys so much, man. We've been putting in the work since the beginning of this channel to have this many people on live with us. Man, thank you so much, man. We had 2 roundtables, great amount of guests, and we're just honored people want to come on our channel. So thank you to everyone that, wanted to join the stream in the past. That has been a part of our channel, done call-ins, just all the guests that we've interviewed as well. Thank you so much, man. I hope you guys enjoy the channel. Hit subscribe, hit the like button. We're going to be putting in the work, man. We really are. Let's not be too negative on tonight's game. It's the first game. It is our base. Let's get better. It is Louisville week. Move forward. Okay. I'm interested in a lot of teams playing this upcoming season. On this upcoming weekend. Sorry, UNC in particular. I want to see how they do against the Dino Babers offense. They lost, I think, a couple key members of their defensive backs, their secondaries. So that's an interesting group as well. How does Sam Howell do his sophomore year with a very good OC next to him and Philip Longo as well? And Mac Brown's second year back at UNC. Very interested in that. How does Clemson play against Wake Forest and a decent quarterback with Sam Hartman? So, man, it's going to be interesting this season. FSU plays Georgia Tech week 1 as well. And I think Virginia Tech go at it as well. So there's a lot of good games, at hand. Man, please hit the like button, guys. Subscribe. We're putting in the hard work. It's not going to stop this upcoming season. I hope everyone has a great night. Miami defeats UAB 31-14. Thank you, everyone that joined us. And always, guys, it's all about the U.